Today, we're diving into a really fascinating clinical trial, one that asks a pretty bold question. What if we could fight a tough type of breast cancer without using traditional chemotherapy?
And that's really the core question here. Look, we all know chemotherapy is a pillar of cancer treatment, but it's tough. It comes with a high cost to the body. So the big idea is, can we find a smarter, more targeted way to get even better results?
All right, so to really get why this new approach is such a big deal, first we've got to understand the specific problem that doctors and their patients are facing every single day. We're talking about HER2-positive breast cancer. It's about 1 in every 5 cases, and it's known for being especially aggressive. Why? Well, the cancer cells have way too much of this protein called HER2. You can think of it like the gas pedal is just jammed to the floor, constantly telling the tumor to grow, grow, grow.
So, before a patient even goes into surgery, the number one goal is to shrink that tumor, or in a perfect world, get rid of it completely. The gold standard here is something called a pathological complete response, or PCR for short. It's a really simple concept. It means when the surgeons go in to operate, they find 0 invasive cancer cells left. It's gone.
But here's the reality check. With the current standard of care, that's a mix of chemo and other drugs, only about half of patients, 51.5%, actually get that complete response. And while that's an amazing feat of modern medicine, it also means that almost half of the people treated are left with some cancer still there. And that, unfortunately, is linked to a much worse outcome down the road.
And this is exactly where our challenger steps into the ring. Researchers put together a totally new strategy, a 1-2 punch that leaves chemotherapy completely on the bench.
Okay, so the first part of this new duo is a drug called AX788. It's what's known as an antibody drug conjugate, or ADC. The best way to think about it is like a smart bomb. It has an antibody that's basically a homing missile. It's programmed to seek out and find only the cancer cells with that HER2 protein on the outside. And when it docks, bam, it injects a powerful toxin right into the tumor, which is great because it leaves the healthy cells around it alone.
The second drug is called pyrotenin. It's a tyrosine kinase inhibitor, or TKI. Now, if the first drug was a smart bomb attacking from the outside, this one is like a signal jammer that works from the inside. It's a tiny molecule that slips into the cancer cell and just shuts down that grow, grow, grow signal right at the source. So you've got this awesome outside-in, 1-2 punch strategy.
So you've got this new, clever strategy. What do? You put it to the ultimate test, a direct, head-to-head fight against the reigning champion of treatments. Let's break down the matchup. This was the MUCTON-06 trial. In one corner, you have the challenger, that chemo-free combo of RX-788 and pyrotinib. And in the other corner, the reigning champ, the standard chemotherapy regimen. And look how they set it up. It was perfectly balanced, 68 patients in each group. And the question they wanted to answer was as simple and direct as it gets. Which of these two strategies would be better at getting that all-important goal we just talked about? That pathological complete response.
All right, so the stage is set. The fighters are in their corners. Let's get to the main event, the results.
So, did this new targeted chemo-free idea actually manage to beat the old, reliable standard of care chemo?
And the answer was an absolute, undeniable yes. A staggering 70.6% of patients on the new smart drug combo got that complete response. Compare that to the 51.5% in the standard chemo group. I mean, this wasn't just a small victory, this was a massive leap. That's an absolute difference of 19.1%. Now, to put that into perspective, what that really means is for every 5 patients you treat with this new combo, 1 extra person will have their tumor completely wiped out before surgery compared to the old way. In the world of cancer research, a jump like that is a huge, huge deal.
But as always in medicine, a win on effectiveness is only one part of the equation. Any powerful treatment is going to have a flip side, risks and side effects, and this new combo is no different. You're essentially looking at 2 very different kinds of trade-offs. With standard chemo, you get the side effects you'd kind of expect. Really bad fatigue, your blood counts tank.
The new chemo-free combo dodges those bullets, but it introduces its own set of problems. The big ones were severe diarrhea and issues with liver function. And it also came with these unique risks of lung inflammation and eye problems that doctors have to watch for very, very carefully.
And the study's own authors really nailed it in their conclusion. This isn't about one treatment being better and just replacing the other one. It's about having two different, very effective tools in the toolbox. Some patients might not be able to handle chemo's side effects, so this new combo is perfect. For others, it might be the other way around. This is what personalized medicine is all about.
So let's zoom out. What does this all really mean for the future of how we treat HUR2-positive breast cancer? Let's boil it down to the big takeaways. So to recap, first, a chemo-free combination was way better at getting rid of tumors before surgery. That's point number one. Second, it lets patients sidestep some of the worst, most well-known chemo side effects. Third, it's not a free lunch. It brings its own serious risks that have to be managed carefully. And finally, and maybe most importantly, it gives doctors a powerful new strategy, opening the door for treatment that's tailored to the individual patient.
And that leaves us with this one last really exciting thought. This trial was for one specific type of cancer. But the strategy, this idea of combining smart drugs to beat chemotherapy head-to-head, is being tested all across the field of oncology. So you have to wonder, are we watching the very beginning of a new chapter in cancer care? A future that's more effective, more personalized, and maybe, just maybe, chemotherapy-free? It's a pretty exciting question. Thanks for joining me.